There we are. Good morning, Trailblazers. Welcome to our first book talk of the year. We are so glad everybody's here. I'm here with Mrs. Keltner. Thank you for being here.
Yes, I love book talks. This was a cute book, too, so I'm really excited to talk about it.
Had a lot of learning in it. So let's introduce our panel for this wonderful book talk called Ben Franklin's in My Bathroom. So we're going to start with Jolie up on top. If you could tell us your name and whose class you're in.
I'm Jolie Smith, and I'm from Miss Morris's class.
And pass the mic as you go down. Sorry.
Just do first names.
I'm Sophia, and I'm from Miss Morris's 4th grade class.
And I'm Johannes, and I'm from Miss Coker's 4th grade class. I'm Henry, and I'm from Miss Whitney's 5th grade class.
I'm Evan, and I'm from Miss Whitney's 5th grade class.
Okay.
I'm Ellison Jones from Miss Howard's 4th grade class.
I'm Christopher Lee from Miss Whitney's class.
I'm Marion Randry from Mrs. Keene's class.
Awesome, awesome. Great panel today. Thank you so much for being here. How many of you like history? How many of you guys love history? I do. It's one of my favorite subjects. So who is Ben Franklin? Who is Ben Franklin? Christopher?
And he made it so that we could use electricity to cook and stuff.
Okay. Johannes? Pass the mic. Thank you.
He was this famous inventor and invented the lightning rod, and I think he also did some other studies with what's it called? I forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay. And I thought that was so appropriate. The lightning rod with the key experiments, since we're doing keys for this year. Okay, pass the mic to Sophia.
Yeah, so he was famous for his kite experiment with the key to see if he could catch a lightning ball or something.
Okay. Henry, did you want to add something?
He was a famous inventor from the 1700s.
He invented lots and lots of things that we use today. Yes. Johannes, last thought?
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say he invented one of the first libraries. First public library, which made me very happy. I gotta say this, and then I forgot it.
Yeah. So how many of you like books? Yes, and we have to thank Benjamin Franklin for that as well.
Yes, that was great. I think that's going to be one of our questions down later on in the show. Yeah. So do you have a younger brother or sister? And how do you feel about that, Sophie? Being nice. I mean, don't throw them under the bus.
My younger sister, yes, she's probably, maybe she's looking right now. She's in Miss Saud's class, and, I love her. We have to share a room, though, so that gets annoying sometimes.
But you're happy you have a little brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Johannes?
So, I have a younger sister and a younger brother. So the younger brother, he shares a room with me. He's really friendly, but sometimes he wakes me up in the middle of the night. But besides that, not really. And my younger sister is really nice, too. So, yeah. I with them both. Just sometimes things go out of control. But besides that.
Sometimes. Okay. Go ahead. Henry?
I have a younger sister in Miss Dillon's class, 2nd grade. And it can be good or bad, depending on what she's doing. She can be really annoying, or she can be really nice and do my chores, or let me have her food.
I have a twin brother in Miss Noel's class, and he gets annoying sometimes, but it's nice to have somebody to relate to.
Agreed.
Good thoughts.
Miriam? Yeah.
Chaos in our house.
Anybody else? Allison?
I have a twin sister and a younger brother, and all siblings get annoying at some point, but they're also very fun to have.
Agreed. I have a younger sister. I could say the same thing. She annoys me sometimes, but I love her, and it's just nice to know that you have somebody else in your family. How about you, Miss Grissinger? Any younger siblings?
I actually have a twin as well, so I have something in common with you guys, and a younger sister.
Okay. You got a little bit of both.
Yes, indeed. So good and bad.
That's right.
Come with that.
So Olive and Nolan have an interesting relationship, right? That's kind of what we're getting to the bottom of, right? Yeah. Okay. Do you want to jump more into the story about what was the package that they found on the doorstep? Sophie?
No one thought was an old-timey radio, but it was a time travel machine that let Ben Franklin into their era.
That was so cool, wasn't it? Yep. Okay, Johannes?
Yeah. Like the way I figured out the thing I didn't really understand was like all those like staticky voices that were coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I really think they should make a sequel where like say Abraham Lincoln comes through the machine, and that would be interesting.
Well, is there a sequel? We'll save that to the very end.
Or like
Johannes, I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to comment about what they found in the package?
A radio set.
Crystal radio set, I think is what they called it, right? Okay, very good.
And I actually had to, I've been talking to my media classes about this. If you're reading something in a book and you see a word that you don't understand or see a concept that's presented, look it up, get a little bit more information on it, ask an adult so you can understand what is being mentioned. So that crystal radio set, I actually went and looked it up because I'm not familiar with that, and I found it fascinating.
Is it kind of more like a ham radio? Like it has, what can you explain about it just a little bit? Do you remember?
It's an old-timey radio,
Yeah.
and it uses crystals to do what it does.
Whatever it does. Okay. All right. Crystal radio set.
Okay, Ben Franklin was famous for his sayings. He said a lot of different things. What are some of them? Do you remember any of them? One that I remember was haste makes waste.
Mm-hmm.
Haste makes waste, which means that if you delay doing things, then you'll waste your time. And if you speed things up, then you'll miss some of those things. So do you remember anything? Christopher, did you have your hand up? No? Henry?
Ben does. No.
Recently, it was just in my room, and I thought it was interesting. And it was like John, Paul, Ben, and George, and they were like when they were all younger. And then on the Ben Franklin part, it was like for his sayings, and one was like 3 people can keep a secret if 2 are dead.
And some of his sayings were very, very wise, but funny.
Well, and I thought Zunes was hilarious. I know it's not really a saying, but the words he used, and fire you, sir. I mean, he just used some old English terms, right? And marvelous conveyance is what he called a fire truck. So the vocabulary words he used for things. The one I liked is who can have patience can have what he will. And I think lost time is, let's see, I can't even read my own writing on that one. I'm going to forget that one. But yeah, he had some great sayings in the story that I don't know if the kids understood, but it was a piece of history. I'm sure kids have heard of, we've heard it when our parents would say different sayings and things, but kids today don't hear those as often.
Exactly.
Okay, what we talked a little bit about this earlier. What inventions or community places is Ben linked to? Sophie.
As we said earlier, the community places is the library that he invented with some of his friends, that they would bring a book and they would trade them and stuff.
Yeah. Johannes?
Yeah, and like not many people might know this, but he actually invented this kind of like big like long arm sort of thing that was used for grabbing books off of high shelves.
Oh, cool.
It's like not a very common invention, but like it's
useful.
Yeah, very
Definitely.
useful.
Any other inventions y'all remember? Christopher, you thinking of something? What about, let's see. Go ahead. I'm sorry?
The first fire station, I'm pretty sure.
Fire station.
Fire stations, yes. Oh, in the back, did y'all read the little extra pieces, pieces of history in the back of the book? He invented swim fins, bifocals, odometer, the Franklin stove. And we have him to thank for daylight savings time, which we all keep voting about getting rid of. But
that was new to me,
right?
too.
Yeah, I didn't know all that, so that was kind of interesting. Any others, Evan?
The lightning rod on your house.
That's right. Yep.
So lots of things. I wonder if he got paid for all those inventions.
I don't know. Did they have copyright back then? I'm not sure. All right. Who is Tommy Tuttle? Jolie.
It was the little boy who was like spying on him and Ben Franklin because he kind of was suspicious about him.
That's right. All right, we'll just go down the line. Sophie?
Wasn't he the one who stole their little crystal radio set?
He did.
And he was
take
trying to
it.
figure out how it worked.
Exactly.
Curious minds.
He did have a curious mind. Johannes?
He tried to get them arrested by doing the fire truck. Plus, he tried to prove that Ben Franklin was actually it because he found the little old colonial time little money piece that the ice cream man threw in the truck when he tried to pay for the ice cream with it.
Yep. Henry? Oh, no. Back down to Evan.
He was just a very nosy next door neighbor.
Yes.
Always
good way to describe
spying
him.
on them.
Describe him, I mean.
Yes, good adjective.
Definitely. Very good. All right.
So he was. Every book has to have some protagonist in it, right? Some
little
protagonist,
villain.
somebody who makes it a little bit exciting to read it. Think about what the book would be like without Tommy Tuttle. Okay, so what happened at the library? When they went to the library, when Olive took Benjamin Franklin to the library and Nolan was running after them, what happened? Miriam.
At the library, the lady thought Ben Franklin was Thomas Jefferson, and so Ben Franklin, so he knew he told a story about how he made the first library, and then Thomas Jefferson showed up, and he never got time to even explain anything because his time was up already.
Was it the
And
real
Ben
Thomas
Franklin.
Jefferson? What do we call those? Actors, impersonators, right? Yeah. Okay.
Living history.
Living history, that's right. All right, now
Characters.
what happened at the pool? Ellison?
At the pool, Ben taught everyone how to do synchronized swimming.
Yes.
Did that surprise you? I was surprised because I thought, oh no, he's going in and it set up an embarrassing moment, but it actually turned around. I thought that was wonderful.
Evan? No, not Evan. Or Evan.
Henry?
Henry, sorry, Henry.
Did you have
Did
a
you
comment?
have? Oh, I thought you had your hand up earlier. Did anybody else want to add anything at the pool? Okay.
Yes.
He got into a very embarrassing swimsuit and dove in, and everybody was laughing. And
Right.
what's his name? Nolan felt kind of embarrassed.
He kind of stayed away from the group. But all the moms liked him, didn't they? I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, okay, this old guy in an old-timey bathing suit, but all right. Let's see what happened. Oh, the fire station. What happened at the fire station? Sophie?
So there was a bunch of little kids there, and they were all kind of acting crazy because of Ben Franklin. And then they all wanted to go in the fire truck, and Ben let Nolan's little sister drive it, and they were going, and the fire truck was going crazy, and that's how they got arrested in the end.
Anybody else want to add anything to that funny episode chapter? Johannes?
Well, yeah, and then Ben Franklin also embarrassed Nolan by wanting one of those little cheap little plastic fire truck hats.
Yeah.
that all the 3-year-old kids on the field trip were wearing. And the thing that I really liked is that the 3-year-old kids all stood up for Ben Franklin and tried not to get him arrested.
Yep.
Very cool.
true.
Yeah. Very cool. And those 3-year-olds, because it was a preschool, I know our preschool acts so much better than that. But it made a hilarious story.
Yeah. It was like herding cats, wasn't it?
Yes. So how did Nolan's mother act when she found out about all the shenanigans? Do you know what shenanigans is? Shenanigans? I put that in there and I went, I wonder if they'll know what it means. What does shenanigans mean, Christopher?
I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. Johannes?
Sort of like misadventures, sort
I
of.
like that word.
Like getting in trouble, sort of.
Getting into mischief.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that.
I
Good
like
job.
that. Okay, Christopher, tell us about how Nolan's mother acted.
She kind of just looked. At first she was just looking at them, and then she laughed because she thought that Nolan was trying to do it to help her get an idea for the book, and then because of that, she made a new series.
Yes, and Nolan's mother was an illustrator of a book series, and she was having a writer's block, something she... I'm sure all of our students are aware of that, you know, when you're trying to think of something and you can't, a writer's block. So she was trying to think that she thought that maybe Nolan was helping her again. Anybody else have any thoughts about that? Okay. So Sophia, or was it Jolie, one of you mentioned about the library group that Ben Franklin had, the Junto, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. What was that? What did they do? A group that met, and what did they do?
Well, they met and because they all had like one book to read, so they all brought their book and they kind of traded, and they all got a chance to read all the books, and that's how Ben Franklin started the first library.
Yes, absolutely. And they also met and discussed about weather and politics and other things that were of interest in that day and age.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
So
First kind of
yay.
book talk, right? All right, so did you like the book? Was there anything you disliked about it, or you wish you would have known, or you hope for a sequel or something? Give us your thoughts. Jolie?
There were kind of some weird parts I didn't really like. It was kind of a weird book.
Yeah. You had to suspend your reality a little bit, right? I mean, yeah, definitely with time travel and different things that were happening.
Did you like the book, though, Jolie?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
There were parts that were good, and then some were odd.
Sophie?
I really liked the part with the preschoolers, and they were so funny. I really liked that part. I was laughing when I read that part. It was super funny.
Always a good sign when you can laugh at a book.
Yes.
Yeah, so I really liked the book. I wasn't really a big fan of when Ben Franklin tried to drive the fire truck. And the Mom's Book series seemed a little bit weird to me. I do hope for a sequel, but the one thing they could have taken out was maybe even though Tommy Tuttle's the bad guy, I don't feel like he should have gotten shocked by the electricity.
You didn't mention that part. That was right.
That electric kiss. Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of funny. All right, go ahead, Henry.
I also want a sequel, but different people. It's like Johannes was saying, having Abraham Lincoln, them. I like history, and I like learning about this stuff, the Civil War and American Revolution and all that. So George Washington comes or something. And yeah.
Evan?
I also want a sequel, but I want it to come in, I want the characters to come in a different way. I want to introduce a couple of different characters, not new founding fathers, but new people to be in the story from this time.
Oh. Okay.
Would they still come in a time machine?
No.
No. How would they come?
I don't know, really. I just think it would be cool if they came in a different way. It would be a different way to figure out how to bring them home, and a couple new characters.
Gotcha.
Too.
I think we have some writers here.
I think so, too.
All right, Christopher?
At the end of the book, there was a part, someone came, and so I would like to have a sequel about that to, know who that was.
Did Miriam or Allison have
A
anything to add?
cliffhanger at the end of the
Allison
book.
does? Okay.
I want a sequel because I actually thought it was really good. And there's not much I dislike about it. Aside, I dislike the part where Tommy stole the time machine thingy.
A little bit of mischief. All right, last couple of comments. Sophie?
Yeah, so I want a sequel, but you know how it's Ben Franklin's in my bathroom, maybe something like Thomas Jefferson's in my attic or something. But
Gotcha.
Maybe it takes place way later, so the same crystal radio gets moved onto another house, and another family gets another historic character who comes to their house. Yeah, something like that. I think it would be really fun.
So different characters.
Yeah.
Not the Nolan family,
Not the
but
Nolan,
different characters.
Someone else, yep.
I think it would be cool if Nolan and his sister and Tommy Tuttle got sucked into the time machine and went back to like Leif Erikson's time, and they got to go on the voyage with him and help him make it and stuff like that. Like sort of like Magic Treehouse, but like more advanced.
Okay. All right, looking at the time. Last couple of comments. I always want to call you Evan. Henry. Sorry, Evan's next to you.
I wish they had a little more of those comic scenes. Those I thought were really good.
Oh,
it was
the graphic novel parts. Yeah, that's true.
Because like at the end, I was looking forward to that because it had like, it explained a lot. Like, I read that and it was kind of sad how his like favorite son, they didn't get to like have a bondage much after he grew up. But I want more of those because those were like, I was always looking forward to those scenes. Like having like the library part in the graphic novel. That was really good.
I just have one thing. I want Nolan and them go into their time, and they and the founding father people go into the other time, and then they'd be kind of like, it would be different, and they try to figure out how to get back.
Gotcha. All right, last comment. Miriam?
Like how Christopher said about how there was somebody last time, like in the end. What if it was like, I can't remember who it was, but it was like, whatever the name was, and like in my closet, like they do in different parts of the house too.
Gotcha.
Like where, because they hid the crystal Ariel in the closet, so Olive wouldn't get to it.
True. That'd be good. I think we have some good future authors here. You guys could write creative stories, definitely.
I think we do too. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Bussinger, for having
I
me on
do have a last question for you guys. How many of you learned something from this book that you didn't know, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. If you are interested in reading our book, make sure you read that book, Ben Franklin's in My Bathroom. We do have it here in the Media Center. And our next book talk will be, I think, in February. So we will be announcing that when you come back from the holiday break. Okay? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Happy reading.
Thank you, panel. Okay.
Bye.
Everybody say bye. Bye.